Yeah, facts. I ain't doing none of that. I'm saying I know where it's two brothers basically. I don't want to say their names because I ain't trying to cause no strife. But it's two brothers that teach. Well, I guess three brothers now, because it's two brothers that rock together and one brother that's by himself, right? So, but like they all three work together. Yeah, come on. So, no, behind you, watch your back. No, watch your back. All right. So, what's good, Pepe?
You all right today?
Today. All right. So look.
Yeah, he said tomorrow.
Just teach, because that's why he came.
Alright, look. But look. All we saying is this. That the 12 tribes chart, we know that it's three brothers, I can name off the top of the head, that are the main three that are teaching that this chart is invalid and that camps are wrong for teaching it and that you shouldn't follow camps. You understand? So I'm saying what they're not doing is teaching the reason why we have the chart. Because two of these three brothers came from camps.
Out there waking niggas
up. That too.
Don't get it twisted. That too. Like I said, I see the point in the chart. The point is very valid. Right. The Most High knows most. Don't get it twisted. You understand what I'm saying? But still, although the strategy is valid, now that we up.
You saying we should make a chart that's based on facts?
Now that we up, we need to go ahead and start dealing with facts. That's all it is, baby.
I understand that.
Yeah, but the Bible is not about facts, though. Right. The Bible is about faith.
It's about the law.
And we don't have all the facts.
It's about the law.
It's not about knowing, because if you know, then where is the faith?
It's about the law.
Which is based on faith.
That's what they kick, but you understand the law. Like I understand the law. You can read it and understand it. Faith is for those that don't understand. That's for the Gentiles.
No. Faith, the law was set up for faith.
Understand it was given to you. You got to understand, like I got, man, you got to understand it.
But the law was given to you based on faith.
For the other niggas that don't got to understand it, that's faith. That's faith.
But the law was given to you based on faith.
But when you look into the law, now with science, faith is back then. With science, technology now, do you not see how the law is factual? You not see how it pertains to every being in your life? Can it not be looked up scientifically?
But the law, listen to me.
I hear what you're saying.
And you can't get around that. The law was given to you on faith.
On faith.
Because it was the law that brought you back to Yahweh Shai, that he had to come. It was because of your offenses to the law that you had faith that your Redeemer would appear.
That's a fact.
So the law is about faith.
The law was given to you on faith. But today, as Israel is waking up, we dealing with fact. And we know what's going on. Everything that we talking about, everything that y'all talking about, we talking about, it's not hypothetical no more. You understand? It's not based on you not having enough information no more. You got enough information to look it up and know that even the dietary law is pertaining to fact. Right? You lose your life for violating the dietary law, right? So does it not put you in sin?
Hey brother, look, take this into account, okay? So the Most High was dealing directly with the brothers in the past, right? He showed them signs.
He gave the law to Israel and the unfaithful, which is the Gentile nation.
Hear me out. I'm talking about the wonders. I'm talking about the wonders and the signs, the miracles that would show the destruction of Egypt. All of that would show, okay, to our nation, and they still rebelled against God. This time, we're not getting no miracles, brother. We're operating solely on faith. Okay?
These ain't no miracles. These ain't miracles.
No, because Christ taught you. Because Christ taught you.
Y'all don't see these miracles happening right now on the earth. Y'all don't see these miracles?
But you dealing with faith to acknowledge them.
Those are the miracles. Right? That's what we're saying.
No, the book told you that.
For example, on what the brother just said, right? Isaiah 20. Get Isaiah 29:6.
Now get 1 Peter 2:20 to back him up.
Yeah, get that too.
Let's read that first. Let's read that first.
It's the book of 1 Peter, chapter 2 and verse 20.
I'm answering what you said.
We just gonna show you that.
My point is just that we dealing with factual shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna get on that facts thing in just a minute. Just give me like 2 seconds. I'm gonna speak on that.
Increase in these times, correct?
Right. I'm gonna speak on that.
Knowledge increase in order for us to start having understanding that we now have. We gotta also wake up the Gentiles. That whole white man, they ain't shit. But at the same time, they gonna spend a certain amount of time in the kingdom as well. So at the same, yes they are. So because every white person is not Esau. There's other nationalities.
No, if you white, you Esau.
He's talking about Deuteronomy 98.
Listen, say that a different way.
So let me ask you this: how are they gonna be our slaves if they're not gonna be in the kingdom?
We gonna show you. One thing at a time. Let him go. Let him go. We gonna show you. We gonna show you.
Yeah, just hold it because I want to talk about the factual thing, how the facts thing pertains to the chart. Yeah. Because that's what we was talking about originally before all this stuff happened. Not the facts we have here, but the facts that you're talking about. Like I want to explain it.
It's the book of 1 Peter, chapter 2 and verse 20. For what glory is it, if when ye be buffeted for your faults, ye shall take it patiently.
Is that what you want? Verse 8. First Peter 1 and 8.
This is the book of 1 Peter, chapter 1 and verse 8. Whom have not seen, ye love, in whom, though now ye see not, ye believing, ye rejoice with joy unspeakable and full of glory. So I mean, that's all based on faith. You understand? But this is what I wanted to say pertaining to the chart and the faith
that the Messiah is going to come and save us. I agree with that. First of all, I'm not disagreeing with y'all.
That wasn't my point. So I don't even want to talk.
Let's be clear. I'm not disagreeing with y'all.
I'm not about to expound on that. I'm about to expound on what you was talking about.
This when we talk about this. I don't want to keep talking about this.
I want to talk about what you was talking about. Right? So look, you was talking about the facts. It's time to stop dealing with hypotheticals and start dealing with facts, right? The reason why we still hold fast to this chart and nobody has tried to make another one yet, even though we have facts of different people.
It's already there. It's in the Bible. What are you talking about? Judah, the southern kingdom, went to slavery, went into Africa and then to slavery. The northern kingdom spread in the four corners of the earth since Roman times. What are you talking about? It's in the Bible already.
Okay.
What you talking about? It's already there.
So here's my thing. Like you said, we use the chart and the different names of the tribes and everything to say, like, for example, Issachar is the Mexicans, right? That's what we say.
How you know that?
If they have Afro skin, if they black and they in them countries, then they can. If based on nationality, you know that nationality is bullshit in the world today.
So he wouldn't be a Mexican to you. I mean, he wouldn't be Issachar to you.
I don't know where the fuck this
man
from.
You can't say that.
I don't know where you don't know where he's from. Where his ancestors derived from is what we're really talking about. We talking about nationality. The Most High already established nationalities, right or wrong?
But we speak in affirmative.
Yes or no? That he established nationality. Look,
I can't answer that until I say this.
I've seen you in.
Hold on. I'm telling you, like, all right, so we discussed.
He established nationalities. Yes.
Hold on. We're discussing something.
You hold on to that.
Because.
Don't be a liar.
Hold on. Now I'm a liar. I didn't even say nothing yet.
I'm saying do not be a liar.
Hold on. If we discussing something, we work in affirmatives. So if you say that there's a white person, we're not taking that as he looked white, but might be an Edomite. But might be Jake. When you call him white, we speak in a listen.
Right now we can do this in
Hold on, man. Hold on. But Sirach 11:7 is the law, and you say you know the law. You're not supposed to interrupt a man in the middle of his speech.
We said to your brother too.
We speak in affirmatives. So if you say white man, that's an Edomite. If you say Mexican, that's an Israelite because he's a Mexican. If he's a Mexican that was living in the land and his father is a Spaniard through rape, he not a Mexican, he a Spaniard.
When was the nation of Mexico established?
Do you understand what I just said?
No, I don't, because that makes no sense.
Yes, it does.
About a territory, not a nation.
No,
I first asked you
didn't I just
about
say
a
we
nation.
speak in affirmatives?
I don't want to
So if we call him a Mexican, we're talking about our Israelite brothers.
Sir, Mexico is a place. If I lived in Mexico for fucking 10 years, they would start calling me.
So then you cannot speak in an affirmative at all.
I'm not talking in that way you are. What I'm asking you about is nations. What nation was established?
All right.
If a person was established as a nation in Israel and in Egypt, whatever you want, if they move to Mexico, does it now make them a Mexican?
All right.
If I have sex with a Mexican woman, does that now make my son a Mexican?
Because it
so
depends.
stop telling me that these niggas, that he's a fucking Israelite when he's a fucking white man. Stop telling me that.
How's he a white man? Oh, so you said this brother's white?
I made that as an example. I'm not going to go into the extra about that. But that's use him as an example.
But when we teaching the people in the street, we had to speak in affirmatives. They don't know that. We didn't get to that yet. So we got to say Mexican. They know what a Mexican is. They identify with people in Mexico. So we can say a Mexican is an Israelite. They say, okay,
do you know
good.
There's black skinned Mexicans in Mexico?
Select, can I say
Yes,
something?
we got it in our videos with their afro.
Hey, Select, can I say something? Select, can I say something? Select,
His choice, though.
Select, can I say something?
Go ahead.
Hey, all right, check me out. Look.
Israelites
Check me out.
in America.
Hold on, all right, check me out. All right, check me out. All right, listen. listen.
What? He's a black man.
So
Yo,
what?
yo, order,
Order. Affirmative.
Order.
You call them black.
Order.
You speaking in
Bro,
affirmative.
look. Bro, check me out. God damn
We
it, bro.
speak English.
These niggas not gonna let me talk, man.
Your man's talking to me. Cut it out with that jumping me shit. That's why I didn't want to come over here. If y'all gonna talk to me, talk to me.
I'm not trying to jump to you. I'm trying to answer your
Nobody
questions. I'm the one
jumping you.
teaching. You talking to him.
Go ahead,
I got the mic.
Go ahead, brother.
Listen, bro.
Okay.
Look, this is what I'm trying to tell you.
Don't get mad, nigga. I'm just as feisty as y'all, nigga.
Who's
y'all
mad?
Stop playing, nigga. Stop playing. Y'all, I'm just as feisty as y'all.
Who's
nigga.
mad?
Stop playing, man.
But yo, watch that nigga. We got the ladies and the women. Kind of chill, maintain your
All
spirit.
right, look, check me out, bro. Look. Bro, hold up.
But he gotta understand first.
This is what I want to explain to you, right? We have something called Daniel 9 and 8. Check me out. Check me out, bro. Daniel 9 and 8, right? It's confusion in faces, right?
Correct.
So, the whole thing about, huh?
Good scripture. Go ahead.
Daniel 9 and 8, right? Let's read it. Daniel chapter 9, verse 8.
Now you talking.
Because,
That's the best argument you got is Daniel 9 and 8, though.
well,
But
this
it's not
is,
really an argument.
well, hold on. I want to explain something to you, right?
not really
Because here's what I want to explain to you.
This is a good point.
Hold up, but check me out. This is what I'm trying to explain to you. The way I look, would you say I'm an Israelite?
I can't tell you could be. You could be Miss
told him he wasn't.
Miss Marie.
No, but I'm just
You
saying.
can't look at this man and tell him he don't look like us black man.
Hold on, but this is what I'm trying to explain to you. Bro, just let me say this.
That's what he's trying to explain.
Just let me explain something to
For the same color like Mo.
Right, all right, so this.
No, me and him, I can't be injured with a bunch of niggas like him,
Oh.
and they
All right,
motherfucking trick me for
All right,
that.
but look, check me out, though.
Respect that man, because that's
I
an
respect him,
Israelite.
but I don't have to respect him
Check-
because he's Israelite. I
Bro,
don't,
bro.
I mean, I don't have to respect him because I don't believe he's Israelite.
Just let me make my point, please.
Bro, he talking to me. Don't be, you know.
Just let me make my point.
He gotta treat everyone a little better than that. But go ahead.
I'm about to give him something to make him treat him better than that. I'm about to give him something if you let me say it. Bro, check me out. Bro, check me out. This is what I'm trying to tell you, alright? The way I look, just pay attention to me, okay? The way I look, my great-grandfather looks like Ak right there. Well, actually, his mom is from the same tribe that my great-grandfather's from. I'm a Comanche Native American Indian, right? So, what I'm trying to tell you is this. Well, no, because I could go back. I actually could go back on Ancestry.com. I can show you the pictures and I can show you their mother. So what I'm trying to tell you is this. I can show you the white woman that my great-great-great-grandfather slept with, which is why my great-grandfather looked like him, right? But that man married a black woman, and then, well, a native woman, and then my grandfather married a black woman, and my dad is with a Haitian.
I was explaining to the brother earlier when he tried to get me over here that it's based on generations. Now, if you marry 3 generations in, which is in the Bible, if you marry 3 generations in, then yes, you can be an Israelite 3 generations later. Now, was your grandmother necessarily? Probably not. Was the great grandmother? Probably not. But you can marry in and through 3 generations, you can become an Israelite.
Well, this is no, I know what you're talking about, but this is what I'm
I
trying
know
to.
you know what I'm talking about, but I know the argument is going to be thick. So go ahead,
Right.
brother. Do your thing.
But this is what I'm trying to explain to you, right? It goes by the seed of your father, regardless of generations, right? So if for some reason I had got with a white man, or
With the 3 generations, I need to see that.
I don't know it, but I've heard the argument before.
I need to see that. Show me that shit.
I've heard the
That's what I
argument.
said to the brother, why I didn't want to come over. I ain't come over and saw it. Would I come to a bunch of niggas with guns without a gun and start talking shit? No. That's why I told the brother, but y'all forced me to come
Nobody.
over.
That's why I said what I said about the generations, because that makes it invalid.
Come here multiple times. Y'all pushed me to come over here and talk to y'all.
Did we do that?
Talking to y'all. Y'all don't remember?
I don't remember pushing you
Y'all
to do
getting high? Y'all don't remember?
I think
Bro,
you just
just-
matched your energy and then you got drawn in.
For me,
Just take what I'm saying. Just take what I'm
Don't say
saying,
we
though.
made you come on.
They did though.
Look. Just take what I'm saying. Just take what I'm saying. Just take what I'm saying, right? All I'm trying to tell you is that by generations, right? If you go to King James kids, right? Do you accept that King James was a black man? All right. So I have pictures of his family on my phone, right? He had one ancestor that married a white woman, right? And then his kids looked white after that. You understand me? So it's no different with my grandfather. My great-great-grandfather got with a white woman, right? Had an illegitimate marriage. He was married to an Indian before that, right? He got with the woman, had sex with her, she got pregnant, he took the baby, and then they all grew up on the reservation, right? So he had a light-skinned kid. That kid actually had a black brother because my great-grandfather had a half-brother that was a black. He was a slave that my family took in. You understand? So we had basically blacks and natives just in my family alone. You understand what I'm saying? So in fact, there's a picture of Comanches online. It's a old chief, his wife, the mother, and then the 2 kids. One of the kids looks like a Negro. One of the kids is a Native American. That's my grandfather and his that's my great grandfather and his brother, his half brother Clyde. Right? So what I'm trying to tell you is this: just based on that one female, I had a great grandfather that looked like a white man, right? But he was able to intermarry with people that were his nation again, and I started to look different. The thing was,
I don't know the scripture off the top of my head. I think it might be an apocryphal, but I don't know the scripture off the top of my head. Oh, so you are aware of it, brother. So yeah, it's based on
yeah, so
you can't marry back in with Israel and become back Israel.
right, but what I'm trying to say is this. The only point I'm trying to make is this. The thing that the people that say you gotta look black to be Israelite, I'm not saying that you're saying that. But I'm saying there is an argument in a group that we call black only, BOIs, right? Black only Israelite. So, right. But I'm saying there's people out there that do it. So just for education of the people, this brother is an Israelite, but it's because the reason he looks the way he looks, the reason that brother looks the way he looks, is because over periods of intergenerational marriage and stuff, after that one white woman came in, all these people gonna look the same because there was no black person for them to marry with, right? Unless you're in my situation.
How dominant our genes are, though.
I do understand. That's why I look the way I look.
You do understand that 3 generations.
Most people see my dad and don't think I'm related to him.
That's why he established that, because like my great grandfather is a Cuban, but he's blacker than his shirt.
That's my point.
You understand? Versus another person as a Cuban that will be, you know, light-skinned, white hair, and say, hey, I'm Israelite too because I'm Cuban as well. We can clearly look at these 2 individuals and say, okay, y'all both may be claiming to be from Cuba at this moment in time. That's why I said your nation versus on your location. You understand what I'm saying? You may have been an Israelite in that through the slave trade, through whatever. Maybe you had the funds to move, and 3 generations ago, you moved to Cuba, and now you assuming this nationality. That doesn't necessarily mean that you that nationality. That's my point. That's my point. If that's not understood.
No, that's completely understood.
He want to ask something. Brother want to say something. Can't hear you, Bob.
I know you said we got real strong government genes.
Hold on.
I'm not trying to teach right now. I ain't trying to go teach.
Loud voices. Yeah.
But you know, you said we got real strong dominant genes. But look at somebody like Blake Griffin's son.
What's going on?
Well, by right now you would think he was a straight white boy. He blonde hair, blue eyes. But
Blake Griffin's son? I never looked down. But Blake Griffin is questionable if he himself, his dad may be black.
His father's Haitian, but
my question is, I'm saying, we gotta look at the generations. You know what I'm saying? No, it's so good. I know y'all can hear me. Y'all gotta look at the generations. It may be 2 or 3, 4 generations. That's where the differentiation comes in. You know what I'm saying? Now let's say his grandfather, his father, and then him. Yeah, he's Israel. He's back. We lit. You understand? But if it's his grandfather, but then his father go back white, nigga, we gotta come back a couple more generations again. You understand what I'm saying?
So you're saying it's based, so you're talking as far as like the Mamzeers go, right? The people with the white mamas and stuff. Like you're talking about.
But the scriptures.
Okay, so you're basing it based off more so science. Because you're saying that the woman's genes have something to do with it too.
Good job. Now we can go back to the scriptures. Yeah, the scripture actually says that 3 generations. So we can go back to the scripture.
I need to see that. You found it?
He had it. He'll find it.
I heard the argument. I just can't remember where it was.
It's there. But you know, when we listen to so many scriptures, sometimes it's hard when you get lost in scriptures sometimes.
just like the point he just brought.
Yeah, but I never heard that.
About
yeah, I
Blake
never
Griffin,
seen
right?
it, but I've heard the argument.
His dad was married to his dad was married with the white woman.
Who's that?
Blake Griffin.
Okay.
His dad was with the white woman.
Stop the film and start again.
And then he got rid of
His dad was with a white woman, and he's with a white woman, right?
Yeah.
His kid is questionable. His kid is questionable.
No, not.
His kid is questionable.
Not.
It's
According to the Bible, though.
You the seed of your father. You are what your father is.
No, but that's what I was trying to say. Because he's going by the generational thing. It's almost like a science.
Bro, it's come on, like y'all got sense. Y'all got sense.
I don't deal with no articles of science falsely so-called. Only the scriptures.
It's not cool. That's cool, but we can deal with the scriptures. But scriptures sometimes science answers questions of the scriptures. We not let's not because it's black scientists too, right? Because black people started
that
science.
Mean like Bob Marley kids would be Israelites
now. Discredit all black
because they all married black women.
Okay. Because there was events and times when we dealt with we're the originators thereof, and all it truly is explaining the unknown and explaining the mysteries of stuff.
All right, so wait, I got a question.
Let's deal with it in that light, right? So if we deal with it
turn it that way.
So if we deal with science in that light, that all it is trying to explain mathematically and put terms on things that we don't know, then we can't completely discredit and throw away science because it's science that helped us get to this point. Even with Israel, even Bob is first.
But hold up, check me out. I want to say
definitely first. Nobody is discrediting that point. The Bible comes before anything. What I said was that it's an explanation. We're a step under the Most High, right or wrong.
Right.
But we as humans sometimes we try to understand things, right or wrong. So what that is our way of understanding what's already been set in stone.
Facts.
You understand? It's already been established. We're just trying to understand what's already been established.
Here's a question that's going to answer the way we are thinking based on what you're trying to tell us,
Once
right?
again, I don't disagree with y'all brothers.
No.
I've been watching y'all niggas for a long ass minute.
And a lot of brothers ain't disagreeing with what you're saying
I
either.
like y'all transition and all that. You understand? Big facts.
I appreciate you talking to
I'm
him.
waiting on that.
But this is my question though.
Yeah.
So based on your understanding,
OG, because your OG is a Mason, like a motherfucker. But go ahead, man.
It's a
Tabaka OG, he's a Mason, bro. I know people that know him. He a Mason.
So?
I'm just saying. He just
Wait, so?
So what?
So
it plays a big role in the information that you can and can't put out.
Whatever you was
like I
before
don't see
you
them
came
5-point stars on y'all no more. Which
we never wore 5 points.
Them tetrahedrons that I was waiting for y'all to throw away.
But we
love y'all. I love y'all. I was waiting for y'all to throw them shits away.
We still rock them.
You don't need to.
How?
Because that's Baal worship.
What is this? What is that symbol? But see, that's coming from your own belly. You got
because you know that symbol is the pomegranate.
But that doesn't mean that it's coming from my own belly because I don't have my sword with me.
But that's a side argument. I just want to talk on what you just talking about, right?
That's Baal worship.
He's just going to answer my question, right?
So y'all know that. Y'all know that too.
Hey, show him this. This is what he was talking about.
All right, hold up. Let me just ask you this one question right quick.
Y'all know that's Baal worship.
How?
But hold up.
You're not dumb, bro. I watch you. You intelligent.
So that means you
But
saw
that's
my
a side argument, bro. That's a side
That means you
argument.
saw my
I'd rather
lesson.
talk to him on the side, man. I'd rather put you on the side, man.
That means you see my lesson on
What
that.
you gotta do, but at the same time.
Yeah, what I'm doing, I'm wrong.
You doing what you gotta do,
I just
but
wanna
come
ask him
on,
a
bro.
question,
You know what
bro.
I'm talking about. We from the same place, bro.
And well, answer this. Is Bob Marley an Israelite?
Of course not. He's a fucking white man.
All right, but here's my thing, though, right?
How I know?
Bro,
I know who's
hold up. Here's my thing. He's a white man, right? But based off what you were saying, everybody,
Cut him. Bro, I'm here.
Okay, what about his children? His children. What about his grandchildren? No, what about his kids and his grandchildren? Are they Israelites? Because all of their fathers.
If they merge with Israelite women through generation, they can become back. I made this point.
Okay, so that's what you're. All right. So that's what I'm trying to say.
No, you mean that kids can or they can?
He's trying to say that Bob Marley kids could be Israel. His grandkids are Israelites because.
No, Bob Marley kids can't. If your father is black.
No, not Bob Marley kids. I'm talking about his grandkids now at this point.
If they fathers is white men, it's a wrap. If he came from a white man, that seed is spoiled. It's dead. That seed is dead.
Okay, so you're
if
talking
he came
solely.
from a black man, then the seed can come back to life.
All right, so you're talking solely.
Is that not clear? What I just said?
Okay, black man.
Wait, I gotta ask him one thing because I'm trying to. Hold up,
One at a time.
Y'all understand?
Please,
Go ahead. Y'all got something to jump on. Go ahead. So cut it down. Go ahead.
I'm trying to think and ask him the right question so that I'm not confused on what he's trying to
There
say.
you go. There you go.
Because I don't want us making no prejudgments and he might be saying something that, we just not dissecting him
Smart
correctly.
man.
So this is what I'm trying to say. Are you saying that, say, Mariah Carey, right? Her kids.
Celebrity shit. I don't know their life, my nigga.
No, I
don't know.
I'm just.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
I'll tell you her genealogy, right?
Okay, yeah.
Her dad is black, her mom is white, right? She married Nick Cannon, right? Who's a nigga, right? He's black man. I'm saying, what if their kids get with a white woman and then their kids get with a white woman? Are those kids at that point gonna be Israelites still?
So you asked me 4 generations down the line right now. That's what you asking me?
Yeah. But if they still get with a white woman,
Alright, so
Nick Cannon's
Nick
kids.
Cannon's black.
right?
Mariah Carey's father is black or
Yeah,
white?
yeah, right.
He's white, he's black.
No, he's black.
If he's black, it don't matter. They good. What does it matter? They good.
Okay, so then I'm confused.
So they just whited out that generation. They just fucking black back that generation.
But then where does that
Black
3
mother-
generations come in at?
Yeah, that's what I'm
if
asking.
you're gonna merge, if you merge, it was white people raping black people.
We know that.
But there was still black skin, brown skin babies. That's where the misconception is at. This is where the confusion of faces is. It was white people raping black people.
That's a tear.
They still had curly hair.
wheat in the tear, right?
There you go. For these are descriptions to describe how many generations that. See, I was
Like W.B. Du Bois.
I got my notes.
Like W.B. Like Farrakhan.
There you go.
Farrakhan is a tear.
So you
Right.
understand. All right. So now they have these names for that particular reason. That's the reason. Also the same reason that they describe Romans as Gentiles. Why? Because they themselves are not Israel. No. Their fathers was Israel, but they going down the path of sin. They're about to not be Israel anymore. This is what they're talking about. It's about genealogy. Y'all act like y'all don't know that, but y'all do know that.
Yo, what you just
trying
said.
to make an argument, but y'all know what I'm saying.
But what you just said.
This is a long
So then,
But what you just said is not accurate.
Yeah, because don't that kind of tie out Daniel 9 and 8? Because the reason Daniel 9 and 8 exists to this day is because what about the people that's like in the Middle East out of Jake?
Let me ask you a question.
They've been mixing with Arabs the whole time.
About right now?
Huh?
How you know that Daniel 9 and 8 is talking about right this second?
Why wouldn't it be? It's right.
Every scripture talking about right now.
Every scripture is twofold. It's twofold. Meaning it can happen at any time.
Answer the question.
Well, I'm saying we can see that it's right now.
Answer the question. If we're talking about thousands of years difference, it could have been something in the year 1000, then a year 4000. That would have been twofold.
All right, let me ask you this then. Do you believe in Romans 8:16? Try the spirit by the spirit.
This is why I don't do this. Y'all want to argue?
We're not arguing.
That's why I want to.
If you want to have an intelligent debate, you're able to say, you know what, that's correct. Let's move forward. Everything I'm saying, y'all are sitting here, nah, that's not true. All right, that may be true a little bit, but bro, let's be intelligent.
But when we try to tell you why we disagree, you don't let us.
I'm be quiet. Go ahead.
You know what I'm saying?
Trying to tell you.
I feel like I'm hearing what y'all say, but maybe I'm not.
Let us show you why. Let them teach you.
The sole reason why we not agreeing with the whole genealogy thing, especially when it comes to
Get it?
the mothers being white and they're taking away some of your genealogy. One is because the Bible says it's based solely off the seed of your father, and two, the whole 50% mixing thing is white man science. You understand what I'm saying? We didn't deal with that because it contradicts what our scriptures say about the seed being solely from the father.
Right.
So, like in our mind, based off the things we were thinking and things we were writing, we never wrote anything based off including the woman as far as what the child was, period. So, new science saying that if you're an Israelite and you get with 5 white women, then it's messing up the seed of your kids. You know what I'm saying? They take their melanin away, now their power's gone, like it says in Hosea 7 for the northern kingdom, right? They lost their strength because their melanin's gone. They've been mixing with the people, right? Ephraim mixed himself among the nations, that type of stuff. That's the reason Daniel 9 is here and still exists.
Why in Noah did they mention the reason that he saved him? Because he is pure in his generation. What would be the point if your generation can't? If your generation,
but that wasn't talking about bloodline. That was talking about he was a perfect man, sinless.
In his generation.
Yeah. In his years. Other nations is a part of his generation. There's many generations.
All right, no doubt.
You see?
Nah.
Well, you can disagree, but that's what we see.
Go ahead.
You trying to make that mean in his generation, meaning in his division of times as far as his genealogy and seed line. When it says generation, that's talking about a period of time.
He said he was pure in his generation. He's talking about his genealogy.
Because in his generation, all men was wicked.
In his generation, the fallen angels come down to earth.
Nah, we don't see no fallen angels either now. That's another conversation.
It don't matter if you see it. It's in the Bible.
No, it's not. Ain't no scripture that said an angel is a fallen angel.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
That's why you gotta listen.